Koholo Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways, making your body a living sacrifice. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and sisters tuning in, listening, and learning. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. And as always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect, the hopeful elect. Okay, the name of this one is Reincarnation is in the Bible. Reincarnation is in the Bible. Okay, and real quick, let's just go right into it. That word reincarnate. Okay, it's actually the word, the letters R-E, re, right, goes into back, or back from, or back to the original place. Also again, okay, that's what re means. And then it's added to incarnate, and incarnate literally means clothe or embody in flesh. Okay, let me see, clothe or embody in flesh, made flesh, to make flesh, be made flesh, make or form flesh. Okay, that's reincarnate. Okay, so essentially back, or back from, back to the original place, which will be what? Flesh. Okay, so now let's go into regeneration real quick, just so we could have some context as we read. Right, you go into the word regeneration, or regenerate, right? It's G3824, palingenesia, and it literally goes to new birth, reproduction, renewal, recreation, regeneration. If we go to the root word, which is G3825, palin, it goes into a new, again, renewal or repetition of the action, again, anew, again, i.e. further, moreover, in turn, on the other hand. Okay, but the root word definition that we were looking for is those, the anew, again, renewal or repetition of the action, right? And what's that action? To be reproduced again, to regenerate. Okay, because though they don't teach this in your Christian churches, and if they ever do mention it, they'll say it's something that Elam, right, so-called East Indians believe in, right? But they don't believe in reincarnations in the sense that the gospel, the Bible teaches. They believe that if you're good, you come back as a butterfly or a hummingbird. You know, if you're bad, you come back as a what's the name of that bug? A beetle. You know, just rolling around, making little Cocoa Puff round dung balls, you know, and pushing that around. Just something really nasty. You come back as something real bad, you know, fungus or something, a virus or some shit, right? And so when you read in the scriptures, and it gives you a bunch of different examples, right? That even Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, even he spoke about the reincarnation, man, right? Regeneration. Okay, because you won't find the word reincarnate in the scriptures. You'll find regenerations, but they're similar. Okay, they're similar, have similar meanings, and it's in similar words. Okay, because reincarnate, it's Latin, right? Because in Spanish, the way you say it, reencarnación, carne meaning flesh, re meaning again. Okay, like repeat, replay, you know. And regenerate, it's to generate something, right? When something is generated and you generate it again, you recopy it, you remake it. So it's all the same, man. Okay, but nonetheless, the scriptures teach it, man. And this is a stumbling block to a lot of people, because even when they read it, it goes right over their heads. Okay, like let's start off with Matthew 19, verse 28. It reads, "And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." Okay, so it says that ye which have followed me, comma, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. Okay, because we, not you, but we, all of us, right, as Israelites, man. But here in this scripture, when it says followed me in the regeneration, it's going into both men and women that every time they kept coming back in their lifetimes, and they were told and taught about Yahushua being our Hamashiach, right, the anointed. We believed and followed through, right, as the scripture says, "My sheep hear me, and they know me," right, and follow him. So that's exactly what it is telling you there. We regenerated in different lifetimes, and we follow the Lord. Now in this last generation, that regeneration that we're in, right, as far as the elect goes, because the elect, though there are going to be men and women that will be put to death, right, and especially those men that stood stiffly for the Lord, as we're doing, right, every time we hold camp, and even making these epistles, we boldly proclaiming who we are, who our Father is, who our anointed big brother is, right, and we followed him already, and we coming into this truth, so we're following him now, right. So we're going to see a lot of the elect is going to be able to endure to the end and see the Lord taking the kingdom back. Okay, and once we're changed in a twinkling of an eye, right, as far as like our flesh, this last flesh that we've regenerated in, that we're still subjected to vanity and to and basically still being a what's the word now? Still being chains of darkness on us, right? Even though we're not walking in the light, we're still, there's still things that we do in the flesh that we don't want to, and there's things that we don't want to do in the flesh that we do. Okay, I don't know if I said that right. So yeah, there's things about the flesh that we don't want to do, but we do because we're in this flesh, which is why we need the new bodies, right? So us being regenerated in this last go around, man, okay, and hopefully being a part of the elect, we'll be able to see the Lord in his glory and partake, right, the 144th, partaking in the judgment of Israel. Okay, it goes on to say, let me see, okay, no, that's where it was. So we could go into another example of following following the Lord in the regeneration, right? This is the first book of Corinthians, chapter 14, verses 32 and 33. It says, "And the spirits of the prophets are subjected to the prophets." Okay, the spirit is subjected to the prophets. "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the gatherings," or church. It says churches here, but church means gathering or congregation, right? To congregate, "as in all the congregations of the saints." Okay, and according to what the book of Psalms, chapter 148, the very last verse, I think it's verse 38, it tells you who those saints are, which are Israelites. Okay, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You are the Israelites. You are the saints of the Lord. Okay. So yeah, back to verse 32 though. It says, "And the spirits of the prophets are subjected to the prophets." Why is that, man? Because every time they come back, all right, their spirit, the Lord puts these spirits with their let's call it, for lack of another word, with their mission, right? And each spirit, every time they come back, they go and complete that mission, which is being prophets. Now, granted, in the transatlantic slavery and when the Inquisition and all those things were happening to us, this last slavery that we served, right, in the hands of Esau, we lost our heritage. So we wasn't hearing the word, the gospel. Okay, the prophets were in slavery, completely losing who they were, heritage and everything, which hence is why we call each other black, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Indians, right? That's because we lost it. But and us being the dry bones, right? When you read those scriptures about the dry bones, that was us. Salakia, that was us in this very last go around, man. But the Lord puts watered us, man, and we went from dry to being moisturized, right, by being washed by the Lord. And sinews, I think, is the word, which goes into skin. The Lord forming us, man, generating us, man, putting our bodies together, making us whole again. Okay, and which is where we are now, knowing this truth, knowing the gospel. Okay. Another example we could go into is in the book of John, right? Because it spoke about a blind man. How wish I spoke about a blind man in there. Actually, the disciples asked him about a blind man, and he answered them. It says John 9, verses 1, 2, 3. I'll read, and it says, and Yahushua passed by, and saw, and Yahushua passed by, Salakia, and as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And the disciple asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Right? So the disciples thought it was some type of judgment because of what the parents might have done. But Yahushua answered, right, and said, neither hath the man sinned nor his parents, but the works, right, of God should be made manifest in him. Now, what were those works, man? The judging. God judged that man for whatever he did in his past life, and the man is living out his judgment based on the type of sinful life or sins that he committed in his past life, man. Okay, that's short and sweet answer. That's what it goes into. Because your spirit actually goes back to the Father of spirits, man. Pursuant to, I think it's the book of Hebrews, and somewhere in the Apocrypha tells you, I forget now, but it tells you how Yahweh is the spirit, the Father of all spirits. Okay, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, and I'll end it off with this. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. Now, when you die, you decompose, right? Eventually turning into just, dust, okay? Which is, in other words, dirt, okay? Because Adam himself was made from what, man? The soil. So we turn back into the soil. We go back into the earth, man, right? But then it says, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Because the spirit, okay, didn't come from the soil. It was the breath that the Lord, that breath was actually, the truth. But in reality, right, in the scripture, what it's speaking about is that spirit coming from the Lord, because it tells you there too. And the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. So if he gave it and one received it, we received it from on high, from the Most High himself, Yahweh, right? Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. I'll get a quick precept. Okay, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27, right? Because, as the brother Elder Manat Zakbar likes to say, Jake is always mentioning that YOLO shit, right? Which is true. They do that. And Brother Manat Zakbar, Elder Manat Zakbar always brings that quota, right? And that word, that YOLO means one, you only live once. But that's worldly, that's BS, because it's not biblical, man, right? This is the book of Hebrews chapter 9 verse 27. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. Okay, so you die first and then your judgment. So that means when you live your life, right, and when you die, the Lord passes judgment on you, which is his works that are manifested, that manifest when you're born again, when you regenerate, when you reincarnate, right? It says, but after this, the judgment. And that's exactly what we all live in now. After we're born, we're living now our judgment. Okay, in this last go around, as I said earlier, it's the last time for us. Okay, as far as the hopeful elect, because we hope to be a part of the elect, right? A part of that number that'll be saved from the Lord's wrath, man, when he comes down to judge the 2/3, man, that didn't want to get this, and ultimately, the Lord just didn't open their eyes, their understanding to this truth, man. Okay, so I pray that this lesson was edifying. I try to keep it short, sweet, and simple, right, and to the point, because the elders and the apostles and the elders always recommend we stay one deep and not too deep, right? Don't go too deep into it to lose people, man. But nonetheless, I pray this was edifying to you brothers and sisters out there listening. I want to give all honors and praises to our Father that inspired me to, through the Spirit, to come out with this one. So call hello Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Vakakwadash. Double honors again to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to your brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations to your brothers and sisters tuning in, listening, learning. Shalom.